Hi, today we're going to be doing a grocery store tour at Lassen's. It's a natural health food store here in Santa Clarita, and they have dedicated one full aisle for gluten-free products, which makes shopping for gluten-free products very simple. Couldn't get any easier. Now today, I'm having local actress Lori Allen Thomas go through the store with me, and she'll be demonstrating some of the products that she's used, really enjoys. And first of all, I'd like to kind of talk a little bit with Lori and find out what it's like to live with gluten intolerance. Lori, how long ago did you realize that you had a gluten intolerance, and what were some of the health clues that came up that made you search for some answers?
Well, actually it started when I was 16, and I had some stomach problems, and I had bloatedness and constipation. It was just horrible. It was getting annoying, so I finally went to the doctors. He diagnosed me as being IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. At that time, not much was known about it, so there wasn't a whole lot he could do but prescribe me medicine for it, which really didn't help me. So it was off and on that I would still get it. And then I came to LA and I started looking for alternative measures with it, and went to, chiropractic mainly at the time, because I really didn't know about the acupuncture and anything like that.
Right.
So I still suffered with it. The chiropractic and acupuncture did help eventually, but finally about 5 years ago, I had excruciating pain, really, really bad pain. I was in San Francisco at the time, and I had to be hospitalized. I went to emergency.
Wow.
Yeah, and
what did they do for you in emergency? At this time, you still didn't know you had a gluten intolerance.
Right. All I knew was that I had IBS, and I told them that. They said there wasn't much they could do about it, but give me something for the pain, which was Darvocet. And they sent me home, and I went home, and the pain did subside a little bit the next day. Interestingly enough, I thought, well, maybe if I got something in my stomach, just something stable and would help me. Right. So I went to pasta and ate that. Pain got worse. Horrible. I was so excruciating, I can't even tell you.
Back to the hospital?
Back to the hospital. Back to emergency. This time, they gave me morphine.
Morphine?
Yes.
Morphine for a gluten intolerance. Okay, yes. This is a very interesting story.
Yes, and again, they didn't have any idea. They said when you get home, talk to your doctor, see what they can do for you. So now I head back to LA, and I talk to my chiropractor at the time, and he refers me to an acupuncturist. And finally, he said, you might be allergic to wheat. And I'm like, what? You're kidding me. He goes, stop it. Stop right now eating any kind of wheat. And so immediately, like 2 days later, I was perfectly fine.
Now, tell me how that changed your life. I mean, what were some of the foods that you just, couldn't do without, that now you realized you could no longer have?
Well, me being Italian, growing up in an Italian family, pasta was very much a staple, and
bread,
pizza, almost every day. I mean, I loved it, and that was gone. If you had asked me if I was stranded on an island, what was the one food I would have there? It would be bread.
It would be bread.
I ate it all the time, especially when I was a kid. Wonder Bread. I used to take Wonder Bread, take off the crust, and roll it in a ball and eat it. That was my snack. So this is horrible news, right?
Right. So what were your choices? I mean, what were you?
Nothing. There was none. This is 5 years ago, and there's not really anything. I just had to dump it all, and in a way, it was good because, well, I lost weight for one. But then, and I'm not much of a cook, right? So I just tend to eat the same thing over and over again. So I lost interest in what I was eating, and I would try to pour on all sorts of sauces and fatty stuff, and that didn't help either.
And I know from working with you, you were eating a lot of corn and a lot of soy, because those didn't have gluten in them, but you did find some soy products that actually had gluten in them.
Yes. Yes. Well, like when soy dogs came out, I was so excited, or veggie burgers. I was like, oh, yes, I can eat a burger now or whatever. But come to find out, then this pain started coming back up. I'm like, what is going on? I'm doing all the right things. It becomes very frustrating.
Yes, it does.
And then I read the package, and sure enough, there's gluten in it. And I had no idea. So now I was really reading packages and finding out what was in it. And then people would say, well, you should try Ezekiel bread. That's good for you. That doesn't have wheat in it. Well, it does. It is, wheat, and it did not help. And I suffered with pain again. So it was a trial and error with a lot of these things.
Well,
very frustrating.
Today's options are wide. There's so many. We're going to show you. We're going to go inside Lassen's.
I'm so excited.
Where they have conveniently put everything on one aisle, and even if you don't have a gluten intolerance, this is a way to learn about some new grains, to incorporate them into your diet, because it's really great to mix things up and have some alternative choices to just your basic wheat products. And it's interesting to note too that more and more people are becoming gluten intolerant as they age. So you may not have an intolerance now, and you may be able to avoid it if you start reducing your intake of wheat now and try some of these other grains. So we're going to go on inside and see what's in there. So a lot of people don't realize that there's gluten in salad dressings, and Walden Farms, they carry several salad dressings that are totally gluten-free, also calorie-free. They do have Splenda in them, so I do caution anybody that has sensitivity, but it is a gluten-free salad dressing if you have trouble finding it. Now, Lori, when we came over here, you saw something that was so exciting. Take it down off the shelf and show everybody. Taco shells.
Taco shells. Oh my God.
Isn't that wonderful? Now, we haven't tried
amazing.
this yet, but we're going to try it today.
I'm going to try everything.
And today.
No, I can't. That is amazing.
Now, what's great is you said you were Italian, and there were so many things you missed about your native diet, which was pasta.
Yes, and I'm sorry, this is amazing because last weekend my husband made lasagna. I have a craving for lasagna, and so he made it, and it was beautiful, and it looked yummy. I couldn't eat it because the noodles had gluten in it.
And this is rice pasta. And have you tried any of
I'm taking this home.
the brown rice or the white rice pastas? Have you tried them?
Some of them I have, yes.
And are there any particular ones you really like?
I don't see the one that I had purchased. Oh, you know what?
This one I have tried, and it's quinoa, and that is a complete. This is a complete protein grain, which is a wonderful. It's like couscous, but then they've made this into pasta, which is wonderful, wonderful pasta.
And the couscous is great too, which I just made yesterday.
The quinoa,
amazing.
Not the couscous.
Right. No, but it looks like couscous.
Yes, exactly. Now there's some up in here. There's some skillet meals like pasta fagioli. It's a hearty Italian bean dish, gluten-free. And check this out: pizza crusts. You can make your own pizza crust. And for those who thought they could no longer have pizza, have you done this?
Done it? No, but I am dying to. I haven't had pizza in, I'm not kidding you, like 5 years. 6 years. I have not had pizza.
So even in the past, maybe 6 months, there are things that you don't.
No.
I mean, things are coming out all the time.
Yeah.
So there is definitely
I've
help.
never heard of that pizza crust.
And Lori, here's another thing: brownies.
Brownies.
It's very hard to find a gluten-free brownie, and you can make your own.
Yes,
and
like you did, that you made for me, and oh my God, it was so good, I couldn't believe it.
Exactly.
And it tastes like a brownie.
And it does, absolutely. It's just changing the grain that's inside of it. Instead of wheat flour, we're using a different type of, for example, this one I think contains, let me see, rice flour and arrowroot flour. So that's definitely a choice. And
I think it's a good thing too that they mix those, because I have used rice flour in things, and it's kind of grainy. It's not that great, but I have mixed it with other things. When they mix it with a different grain, it holds together better.
That's a great tip, because it's not just the flavor of our foods, but the textures that we grew up with. And if we all grew up on regular brownies, we know what that texture is like. So it's important to find a mix you like that reminds you of your favorite foods. Now, there's many things over here too. For example, gluten-free pancake mixes. I have personally not tried this one, but we're going to get to one that I have tried that was just absolutely yummy.
Yeah, pancakes, 5 years.
5 years, pancakes.
Pancakes in 5 years.
Isn't that crazy? Another thing people don't realize that contains gluten is breadcrumbs. Now, a lot of people use breadcrumbs in meals, and I didn't know that this existed myself, so this is something I'm going to be taking home today.
Tortilla crumbs.
Who knew?